So, the question is, have I made any money from my business in the past 9 months? No. Welcome back to Multifaceted by KJC. My name is Kiara. I am the founder of Multifaceted by KJC L.L.C. And today I'm going to be giving you a 15-month update. So it has been, math. The last time we spoke was my 9-month update, where I pretty much rambled for like 20 minutes and didn't get to my point until 12 minutes. So if you decide to check that out, please forgive me. I actually have notes today. You'll probably see me like scrolling a little bit or looking down because I want to stay on track so we don't waste anybody's time, anything like that. But in my 9-month update, I was talking about having 2 part-time jobs and taking classes and working on projects for my business. And since then, I've decided to focus on one project in particular, which I'm not going to name because I'm in the middle of like a soft launch and still doing research on how to properly do a soft launch. So this is purely experimental, that soft launch. But I don't want to talk too much about it until I have more to bring you all, So, but I'll be telling you everything that I've learned up to this point about running a business online. So the main difference I would say between myself now and the 9-month update Kiara is that my vision has sharpened so much since then. I've had to make so many different pivots and sharp changes and sharp turns in trying to get this business together, and trying to turn this project into a successful business. And it has all just sharpened my determination, sharpened my vision. Things have changed, but they've changed for the better. I quickly realized that just because I feel like what I'm putting out is amazing, it's gonna help people, this is what the world needs, does not mean that the way that I'm presenting it is how the consumer is gonna take it. I can put it out how I see it. It does not mean that my consumers and my customers are going to view it that same way. So that means I have to make an adjustment. I've had to make slight adjustments to my my target audience, my message, my content, and that has actually helped me a lot. It's like I'm cutting away what's not needed and sharpening up the art of it, and it's exhausting having to constantly pivot and constantly change things, but it's something that in order to grow a business and succeed, it's necessary. As long as I am not compromising my morals, my moral code, my values, I am okay with the pivots. The core values that I have, I want to make sure that I walk with integrity and dignity, and that I use wisdom and courage, that I walk with grace, and that I have patience, that I exhibit patience in this journey. And I feel that as long as I do not compromise my core values, I will have success. I read somewhere that you can build another business, but you can't build another reputation. And I want to make sure that my reputation is solid, because this is not going to be the last business project that I ever do in my life. I pray to God it's not. I intend to be doing this for the rest of my life. And God willing, that's going to be a long life. So I want to make sure that my reputation is intact despite the different changes and pivots that I need to make in order to be successful. So since November, I decided that I was going to explore social media platforms in order to get my message out and get my project out and get some feedback. And the 3 platforms that I decided to start with were YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Now, TikTok I'd never used before a day in my life. I had never seen the purpose in having a TikTok for me. But as a business, I was like, all right, let me see what social media platforms will work for me and that I can make work. Instagram, I've been on Instagram since I was like 14, 15, something like that. On and off, of course. I've never been really impressed with social media, but it's not a personal thing, it's a business thing. And YouTube, I've been on YouTube forever. Love YouTube, it's all good. But there's a learning curve with building your business using social media. It's a lot harder than a lot of these influencers and content creators make it sound. This ish is tough. I feel like it gets harder when you do not have a subject, or your content is not surrounding something that's trendy. I'm gonna be honest, my stuff is not something that I would consider trendy. It's useful, and I feel that once anybody realizes that it does have value in their life, that is when they're gonna go search for my content. And it is actually of use to everybody. There's not one person who's gonna go through their life without needing my content. That I guarantee you, 100%. But it's not trendy. It's not something, it's not a TikTok dance. I'm not using, the sounds that are gonna make you go viral. It's nothing that has anything to do with anything trendy. And so that is very, very, very tough, because you are competing for the attention of consumers everywhere. And most people are gonna go for what is trendy first until they see an actual need for something else. On each of these platforms, I figured out that different types of content are needed. Different formats are needed. And that's probably like a no-brainer, considering that, Instagram has reels and pictures, and TikTok is video-based, and YouTube has shorts and is mainly video-based. But the format of my content generally has to be quite different in order to catch on these 3 platforms. I have no data on Facebook, by the way, because Facebook has just been giving me issues. I have no analytics. Facebook is a non-factor. Like, it's just giving me nothing. So I'll be talking primarily about Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But the content that I have to put out on each platform generally has to be different. The format that gets attention, that grabs, is very different. I had to learn that through trial and error, just putting things out there and seeing what stuck. Along with seeing what stuck, I had to figure out how the frequency of my posting, what times of day I needed to post, and what days of the week I needed to post that were actually going to get the attention that I needed it to get. And that just took me putting things out at random times, in a sense, just to see what was the best time. And I feel like I do have a handle on that now, but it did take a while. And, of course, some videos are going to do better than others. Some posts are going to do better than others. I'm glad that I'm at least seeing some consistency, so that I have an answer to the question of when should I post, how often should I post, and what should I post, and where. So along the lines of creating different types of content for different social media platforms, that ish gets tough, especially since I am a one-man band. I am the pianist, I am the drummer, and I'm rocking it out with a tambourine, okay? It's just me. So trying to keep up with how often to post, the frequency, because the key to this game is consistency. You do not want your consumers or your target audience to forget you. You don't want to be forgettable. You want to be in their face when you say you're going to be in their face, and then a little more often than that. And that's something that I'm learning. But in order to create that content and have it ready and presentable and damn near perfect is so overwhelming. I thank God that I can put things in draft. I can schedule things ahead of time. That saves my life, because it gets to be a lot. Even though I have things pre-recorded and pre-done and ready to go, it still does become overwhelming, because I find that people consume things so quickly, and it gets so, you reach your cap, in a sense, very quickly. And I don't know if there's an actual cap that I don't know about, or what it is, but I find that on certain platforms, I don't get higher than a certain number of views. And I found that views are more important than likes, which is something that I didn't know. As a consumer, I thought likes are more important, but likes are for consumer purposes. But as far as creators, the views are more important. And so trying to increase my views every week or every other day, or however long I'm posting, it gets so incredibly overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. But I truly thank God that I can put things on draft and I can pre-schedule, and I am generally ahead. Most weeks I'm generally ahead in my posting situation. Thank God for that. Outsourcing. I know as a one-man band, people talk about outsourcing, how important it is. And I was watching a video with Ali Abdal. He was talking about outsourcing, how it's cheaper than you think it is. But unfortunately, I am not someone who has a whole bunch of money to just allocate to outsourcing and different people to outsource, different people to do different jobs. Unfortunately, I don't have that. The money that I do have, thank God I was blessed enough to be able to save it when I was full-time, because I was making money. But that money is not, it's not going to last forever, and I have to be very, very wise about how I spend. One of the things that I would love to do for this particular project is build a website for it, but I don't know coding, so I can't do it on my own. Hopefully one day I will have a handle on coding, but that's in the future. But I can't do that right now, and so that is something that I have to outsource for. Someone else is going to have to take care of that. Someone else is going to have to deal with it, whether it's me paying an actual platform or an actual person to do so. And so I have to be very wise, because I do have to outsource some things, and unfortunately that's just the name of the game. But I have to be very wise about what I'm outsourcing and how much I'm able to pay, because once that money is gone, unfortunately, it's gone. A huge part of the last 6 months, I would say, before that, when I was thinking about L.L.C.ing back, when did I first think about L.L.C.? Maybe a March, maybe April of 2022, possibly. I first brought up the idea, or thought of the idea, of L.L.C.ing. And the first thing I did was look for a lawyer. And since that moment of deciding I was going to be a legitimate business, I have had to do so much research. Some days are full of pure research and no actual creation. When I found my lawyer, it was because I researched the hell out of her. I researched the hell out of everybody I could find. And I believe I did a good job in selecting my lawyer, but there are also other things that I realized after researching and after reading the content that the resources, I should say, that my lawyer actually sends me. There's so much research that needs to be done. Having a proper financial advisor, knowing how to properly do your taxes, knowing what documentation to submit, what documentation is actually required. What is legitimate documentation? Can I send a screenshot? Like, how are my bank statements okay? All of those things are questions that need answers. They really need answers, because unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunately, but I learned at the Entrepreneurship conference, the networking event that I went to a few months ago, that the finances of your business are so incredibly important. You can jack yourself up if they're not done correctly. And during tax season, I'm not even gonna lie, I was a bit stressed because I don't have a large team, it's me, and then it's a few people that I'm able to afford to pay. And it's not that I think that the people that I have are doing a bad job. Please understand that. I just believe that in this stage, it's important for me to know what's going on, and it's important for me to get full rounded explanation so I can do what I need to do so my business is not in jeopardy. Because at the end of the day, your business is going to be fine. I'm going to be the one in handcuffs with the IRS because I didn't do something correctly, And I know that sounds very strong, but that is the truth of the matter. So, a lot of research has to be done, a lot of talking to people and seeing if they're a good fit to be a part of your team, because you are going to need a team. It's for certain things, for a lot of things, especially when it comes to the legal aspect of having a business, because I am not trying to go to jail. I don't think that I would do good in jail. Just putting that out there. So I am going to sign off here, as my grandmother would say. And just to all of the aspiring entrepreneurs, the new entrepreneurs, people who are really looking to get into this lifestyle, because I keep calling it a game, but it's a lifestyle. Just understand that every day is going to be different, and you're always going to be learning something new. There's always going to be new information that you have to learn and enforce. And I just want you to remember to be kind to yourself in this process. It's something that I have to remember to do. I have to remember to be kind to myself every day, because it really is a struggle. But I say, as long as you show up, as long as you're consistent, and consistency does not mean giving 100% every day. If you can only give 2% today, just give God thanks that you were able to show up today. Just hug yourself because you were able to show up today. And that's pretty much the name of, that's how you succeed in this lifestyle: consistency. So I am done talking your ear off. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.